Okay, this is podcast number 7, and the topic is life, and the subtopic today is Psych Ward. This is video 2, and we're going through the cast of characters at the Psych Ward, and this is about my 17-day stay at the Zucker Hospital. I've already discussed my roommates at the stay, which were Keith, Tevin, and I call the crack guy because I don't remember his name. I think I was on crack too. Some of the significant characters I've discussed were Diana, Jean, and Gina. And today, maybe we'll finish up everybody. Again, I don't know. It might take a little time on some of these guys because, again, memories come and go with me. Some other issues, and so today is Yom Kippur, and today is September 19th, 2018, and I've been sober 1 month, 1 day, 2 months, 1 day, and probably going to go back Saturday, but again, things will always change, and I think, like, they're really, it's funny, my brother-in-law, it's basically, I said, I'm probably going to need 1 more week, and he was like, ready to get me back coming today. It's like a holiday, not supposed to drive and all this stuff, basically I got 3 more days here, and I'll be going back to my apartment in Forest Hills. So she's not in good condition, and the scene of like a lot of my, where a lot of my problems began, and the loneliness and a lot of the problems began. By the way, if you need to reach me, or you want to reach me, either positive or negative, whatever you want to reach me about, I can be reached at the Great Jew Atheist, no spaces, of course, at gmail.com. Again, greatjewatheist@gmail.com. I've had, a few views, not many. My best is my first video, Subway Jesus, which would make sense. It's been out there the longest time. I actually have 48 views on that, and so far no pluses or minuses in terms of comments, and no mail, so that's unfortunate. I really like feedback, positive and negative. Die, scumbag, die would be better than nothing. You are the ugliest person I've ever seen would be good. And again, I said I'm at least, at best, the ugliest 53-year-old in Forest Hills. So that, I'm with you on that one. I will gladly be an ugly person for you. And again, I said, if there's a beautiful people, there has to be ugly people, and I will do that. Although that might, lower my evolutionary currency, which we'll discuss. I have to do a few podcasts on evolutionary psychology, and thinking where to start. I think one of the best places to start is reciprocal altruism. Maybe I'll combine some topics. Attractiveness for men and women is another good topic. There's a lot of good topics. I mean, we basically know, if you're a man, what makes a woman attractive, and if you're a woman, we know what makes a man attractive. Tall guy, got a certain facial structure, heavy beard, let's say dark features. A lot of women like guys with, dark features, dark shadow. I mean, it shows that he has a lot of testosterone, high status. And by these high status things that show I have high status, I have a Mercedes-Benz, And it's very important if you think about it. A woman, or a man needs time to assess things. Like, they don't have a lot of time. He has to make a snap decision. Like, I'm not good with that. So you have to make snap decisions. So a woman has to make the snap decision. So if he sees a 6'4" handsome guy coming out of a Mercedes, that's a really good cue. That's a cue that man has good genes and good resources, which is a very good, difficult thing to get. So there's a lot of interesting things going on there. And first learned, I think, about evolutionary psychology, through evolutionary biology, and our close animal relatives. We'll talk about, I think the first good lesson would be elephant seals. They're a lesson in itself. I mean, you could probably go a whole podcast just on elephant seals. They're fascinating animals, So, that's my next podcast if I get through this. Just talk about elephant seals. I think that'll be your first one. Attractiveness to men, and again, you'll know what it is. I mean, why? The why. One thing evolutionary psychology doesn't answer is the how. Like, let's say you're a guy, you're not that great looking, you got a lot of pimples, you got your nose that looks like this, and you don't meet people, you got Asperger's syndrome, and you want to get laid. How do you do it? I mean, not easy. Like, they got these videos out, how do you get laid, there's a way to do it, I don't know. I mean, I would doubt it. I mean, they had this guy, Ross Jeffries, he wasn't a good-looking guy, and he said he used to get laid, and hey, there is a way, we do have cerebral cortexes, so we're not all, just animals, so we do have something else, so it is possible, I would gather, that, I mean, hopefully, it's just not all, EC, evolutionary psychology, it's not all just, the alpha male gets the alpha female, and then down on the line, and once, like one of the things you'll see is a concept called serial monogamy, and once the female gets too old, the male gets rid of her, and then he gets a new female, and so on down the line, till, me, the loser, loses out even on a decent female, and I have to get talk like this. I love you. You're the best girl you can ever get. And then, repercussions for me are just, total, and one of the things, we'll discuss this story in more detail. This girl, Anne, who I thought was, okay. She was a decent-looking girl. And I was like 23 at the time, and there's no beauty. I mean, I was like, okay, maybe a 6, maybe. Scale 1 to 10. And I thought she liked me. And I was like, and we used to go out drinking, and became good friends, and I tried to convert that friend into a romance, and I thought this would be easy. I was like, not going to be a problem. And sure enough, she rejected me. I was like, what the fuck's going on? I like this girl. So we'll talk about that. I think the first lesson we're going to talk about, we'll start with elephant seals. And they give a good lesson in, what women like. We'll talk about size differential between the male and the female, because that's important. Why that talk about polygamy and the size between the male and the female will determine to a great extent how polygamous the species is. There's a lot of fascinating things in EP predictions it makes, and the predictions will tend to be true. So we'll get back to that. We'll get to that. That'll be podcast number 8. Okay, so let's continue with the significant characters at my stay at the psych ward. I ain't watching this guy's podcast. He's a nut, you know. No, I'm not really crazy. I'm just depressed, you know. And I was at the killing and my other podcasts. How I'm just like so depressed that I don't have any options left. You know, I don't think they realize that. I mean, they could put me away. That's not gonna make my depression better. You know. I mean, what are they gonna say to me? Oh, everything's gonna be peachy keen. You get laid. Unless they could get me hot girls. I mean, maybe I gotta dial down my expectations. You know. Unless we could get you a job where you don't mind getting up in them. I mean, to me, that's like everything. See, it's not like there's no such thing as a lazy person. It's only motivated and unmotivated people. That's what it all boils down to. You know. If you're motivated, that means you found something in life. Like having a roof over your head is important. Having a girlfriend, you've met someone and you're motivated enough to do something you don't like, or you've found something you like, and that's to me the most important thing. So once you find something you like to do, that's the key to everything. Like you want to get up, you want to take showers, you want to go, you want to do things you don't like to do that thing. You know, enough. Like Larry Bird syndrome, I call it. Like he loved basketball. He probably loved the smell of the wood floor. He would take thousands of shots each morning or whatever. I don't know how many shots, but he loved it so much. He became such a great player, even though athletically he was not a great athlete. You know, so. But he was probably, and he doesn't get credit, and you know why? Because he's like a slow white guy, but. He was probably, I think he's very underrated. He's probably, I'm not going to say he was the greatest basketball player of all time, but he's probably the most complete player of all time. That means, and a lot of, you see a lot of interviews. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said Larry Bird could do everything. He could rebound, he stole the ball, he could shoot, he could score. He could pass. He was an unbelievable pass. This guy was an incredible player, and he doesn't get credit. Why? He's a slow white guy. He played the game. You would watch him, you see LeBron James, and, he played the game like in slow motion, So it was kind of weird, It's like you're watching a guy playing the game in slow motion, but still, a great, great player. And I've never seen a player that has such a complete, could do literally anything. The only thing he couldn't do is dunk the basketball. I've even seen him do that, but it wasn't really, it wasn't a one hand, 360, type thing. So, let's get to today's topic. And so we already went through some of the cast of characters, and so today, we already talked about a few. And today we're going to start with a girl I call Princess, okay? And now, Princess was 33. She was slow. Okay, she was a retard, okay? Princess had a lot of problems. Now, where should we start with Princess's problems? Princess was a work. Well, first of all, she was really unattractive. Facially, she wasn't terrible. She was half Jewish and half Peruvian. Her father was from Peru, and her mother was Jewish, I think. And she was really fat. Unattractively fat, I mean, I guess, guys will fuck it. One thing I learned in life, men will fuck anything. There's a guy, like, if you're a woman and you're ugly, men will fuck you. It doesn't matter. And she was about 5'5", and maybe closing in on 300 pounds. And I remember one of the funny things was, she would, one day, she lost a little weight, barely. She got weight. I first came in here, I think I'm at 279 now. I think I lost 8 pounds. She's at 279. She's a fat pig. She's still 279. I mean, it was horrendous. It was just so sad. And she would talk like that. She had like a piece of gum. She always had like a piece of gum. She was like a piece of gum in her mouth. And she loved me. I would always hang out with her. I would talk to her nice. And apparently she had like a lot of behavioral issues. She would throw things. We had guard. I think it'd be very difficult to throw the chairs because they're really heavy, on purpose. She would throw the garbages, because you couldn't make the garbages that heavy. So she would throw things. And she would get into fights with other, she would get into, almost every other day she'd get into fights with, Gina, she'd always get into fights with. The guy Tevin would walk behind her, she didn't like that. She would always want to sit with me. We didn't like her. She lived at a group home, I gotta go back to my group. I don't know if I want to go back to my group home yet. I need some. And what a sense of entitlement on this girl. We'll talk about that. And so she would get into a lot of fights with staff, and I mean, the girl had an appetite. Everything she talked about was food. I can't wait till this guy comes. He's gonna bring me food. And McDonald's, I'll give you some dollar. And she was like always trying to hit on me. She wanted to go, I just tell you, she would always look at my dick. And so I called my package. She goes, I like your package. One funny thing about her, she was telling me one of the things she was telling me how she should be a hooker. I was like, ooh. Her face wasn't terrible. It wasn't horrible. But the body was like, oof, wow. If you look like that at 33, what are you going to look at 43? You got to go on a radical diet. I mean, you got to stop eating. You just got to drink water for like a fucking 30 days. That's how we're going to start. You're going to be under my care. I don't care if we starve you to death. I mean, you have enough weight on you. This is why people eat. And a lot of people don't know this, because why do you get hungry? A lot of famines in ancient times when you're in tribes. There were famines, so the body adapted. How? When there were good times, a lot of food. You ate as much as you can. And that's what I'm going through right now. There might be some very lean times coming up, There might be times where there's no fucking food, I mean, the rent comes first. Got to pay the rent, else they kick me out. And the second thing is food. So, so I might have to cut back on my food, Making $36,000 a year. I'm a starving artist, so something got to get cut, I go to the Chinese woman, and I was thinking maybe Chinese food deliveries, begging is a possibility, I have to think about that, as much as it sounds ridiculous, I have to figure out. I think I was saying, sign, need money for cable bill. Maybe people will find it funny, give me a couple of bucks. Me, homeless and hungry, coming a nice Reebok on the subway, These backers, they don't make bad. People give it $1. I mean, you make like $50, $60 a day. There's my cable right there. Maybe try it. What's the worst can happen? Grow the beard out a little bit, Don't get a haircut. Smell a little bit. I don't smell too good anyway. Yeah, that's one thing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting this bad body odor. It could be from the diabetes, I think. Your body, especially cut back on the carbs, you're releasing these ketones. They don't smell too good, So I don't know. So let's get back to a princess. So there are three things talk about. So first of all, every minutia of her life she's talking to you about, no one gives a shit, Like, at some point I felt like saying, listen, Monique, no one gives a fuck.